I did not stay up on New Year's Eve. I like to hear all the noise when the fireworks go off, so I went to bed to await the midnight hour. I had extra pillows piled up behind me, books and iPod before me, toes warming on the hot water bottle, and a constant eye on the bedside clock. As midnight approached, I remembered that the clock is sometimes several minutes out, so I quickly got up and found the other little one, which I know is only 3 seconds fast. I wondered whether anyone would actually be spending their money on fireworks this year, after all the job and income problems that many are experiencing, or whether they would be even more determined to have a good time, to make up for the difficulties of the past year. It turned out that the latter was the case, as the sky filled with starbursts and rockets, and many more than usual of the big box continuous displays, reaching higher altitudes and producing bigger explosions and very much louder bangs. One of these was let off just a few houses away, followed a little later by individual rockets, zooming noisily upwards with a glowing orange trail, and exploding into a bright, illuminated umbrella of falling fiery specks for a few seconds. I took a video of several minutes of the show from my open upstairs window. The first day of the year is generally when I pack away the Christmas things. After a day of doing website and other items, at the end of the afternoon I set about dismantling the tree and the decorations. The lights always stay up throughout the month to lighten the gloomy days, although if there is a cold but sunny day, they can look somewhat incongruous, but their glow is very welcome once the daylight fades at about 4. By the evening, everything was once again tidy, but still colourful, with the lights and an alcove wall covered in Christmas cards. During the evening, we watched a historical programme describing the events that happened during the Blitz of London, in particular the attack on the night of 29th of December 1940. I like to be informed and understand what my own family members and people in my city went through in days past. There was a mixture of real film footage and recreations of scenes. There were interviews with elderly people and readings of diary entries of others, who all lived through it, and their descriptions were illustrated in an hour-by-hour story as the events of the night unfolded, with actors to represent their young selves. The subject was treated sensitively, and seeing the interviewees standing in those very places, describing their experience, really emphasized the horrors and suffering they endured. It was especially interesting to see the part where they were attempting to save St. Paul's Cathedral, and rushing through the tiny corridors and stairs at the top, as we ourselves had gone up into the dome and top parapet some time ago, up those same narrow stone staircases. Destruction of the cathedral was the main goal of the attack, as an important social and emotional landmark and icon, but the mission failed to achieve that. Churchill ordered that St. Paul's must be saved at all costs, recognising the importance of this building to Londoners' morale, as well as defeating the enemy's objective. Opposite the cathedral, on the path that leads to the Millennium Bridge, is the National Firefighters Memorial, commemorating all firefighters who have lost their lives in the course of their work. Throughout the whole programme, I was constantly thinking of the previous night's fireworks that I had watched, and my only thought now was how painful those sights and sounds would be to those who lived through the Blitz years. Having spent several years travelling around all the corners of London, I recognised many of the places and streets, and this made it more real than just watching a programme about somewhere I had never visited, and that was just a name on the map. When the current restrictions are lifted, and we are once more able to travel around the city, the various locations around that area will seem rather different, remembering this and earlier history, which is, for the most part, buried beneath the smart modern office buildings, shops and roads.